another factoring by grouping problem. And this one, I want you to see that we have something called additive inverses, okay? And so we want to show that 6 minus a could be written as negative 1 times a minus 6. And this may not make sense right away, but I'll show you the actual math behind it in a little bit off to the side. So when I factor out a negative 1, that would switch the signs of everything, so I'd get negative 6 plus a. And then usually we don't like to write negative numbers plus another number, so we would rewrite it as a minus 6. That's how they jumped from one side to the other. They didn't include this middle step right here. That the negative 1 switches the signs, but we usually switch the signs and the order. Okay? So now looking here, I'm just going to group them 2 and 2 right off the bat. Okay? And if you want to normally just try to do first 2 and second 2, that's not necessarily a bad idea to just try to group them that way. So I've got 2mk minus 12m. I can see my greatest common factor of my numbers is 2. Of my variables is m. So I get k, because 2 times m times k would give me 2mk, minus 2m times what would give me 12m? Well, it would be 6. Plus 42 minus 7k, the GCF of the numbers is 7. 7 times 6 would give me the 42, minus 7 times what is k? K. So now, we were looking for this common factor. We didn't get it. But notice, these are additive inverse of each other. It's k minus 6, 6 minus k. Alright, additive inverse, if you add them together, you'd get 0. Okay, which means I can factor out a negative 1 and then make them look the same. So I get 2m times the quantity of k minus 6. If I factor out a negative 1, all it's going to do is change this sign. Since it's a plus sign, I'm going to change it to a minus sign. And now you can kind of think it just kind of switches the order. So now I get k minus 6. And if you're confused about how I got this k minus 6, it's the exact same thing as this work over here. Factor out a negative 1 and then switch the order. And now notice I have a common thing inside the parentheses for each part, which means I can finish my factoring by grouping by writing 2m. And notice in the last one it was plus 7, but now we've got negative 7, so it's 2m minus 7 times the quantity of k minus 6. Following those exact same rules for factoring by grouping. Except the main idea here is just using that additive inverse to go from things that don't look the same to things that do look the same inside those parentheses.